Hello everyone, my name is Zach Howe, and today I'm going to be talking about memory and the role it has in marketing and how companies use it. So when you see a red can with white letters on it, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? For me, it's Coca-Cola. This is because it has very iconic coloring, and there's really nothing else that looks like that at all. You're using your senses to recall or remember Coca-Cola. We quickly look at the product, and automatically our brain starts associating these colors, shapes, fonts, details, logos, etc. This is the foundation of memory marketing. Companies use memory marketing in many different ways in order to sell you their products. So the true psychological meaning of memory is this: the psychological process of acquiring, storing, retaining, and later retrieving information. Memory involves three major processes: encoding, storage, and retrieval. Encoding is when the memory is essentially being uploaded to your brain. In order for this to happen, whatever is being encoded has to be important enough to be encoded. This is why brands use slogans, fonts, and even visuals to encode their brand into your memory. Retrieval is what just happened to you when you thought about the red can and the white letters to recall Coca-Cola. Using things like colors, themes, jingles, font, or even shapes can help retrieve a memory that reminds you of that brand or company, or even a product. So for brands to effectively use memory marketing, they have to make sure that some part of their brand is encoded and stored in our brain. So companies also need to make sure that they can easily be retrieved so that people can easily be reminded about that product or brand. There are a couple different types of memories. So first, we have a sensory memory. Essentially, this is a memory that is held by your senses: your touch, smell, sound, sight, or taste. Short-term memory, these are things like short advertisements, mission statements, or even slogans that you remember for a brief period of time, whether it's a couple of days or a couple of months. And then finally, we have long-term memory. This is when companies use things like emotional branding and nostalgia to hold on to customers and build longer lasting relationships and potential lifetime ones as well. So some brands use memory marketing more specifically with the sense of smell and sound. And some examples of this could be like when you're walking throughout the mall and you suddenly smell pretzels. For me, my local pretzel shop is Auntie Anne's, and that's the first thing that I think of, and automatically I start getting hungry. That's all I can think about, and I go get it, and I go eat it. So another example of hearing would be McDonald's and their classic jingle. There's nothing that sounds like it at all, and whenever you hear the classic ba 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 ba, I automatically think McDonald's. So they effectively use the sound of in memory marketing to keep you as a customer. So every time you think of that jingle, you're going to think of McDonald's, you're going to think of their delicious salty fries or something like that. And there's two major companies that I want to talk about that use memory marketing. First, we have Apple. They have a very simplistic, clean design to their products. They're also known for that iconic Apple logo. The names of their products are also very unique as well. They're easy to be remembered and retrieved. They also use a bit of sound as well. I don't think this was intentional, but the classic iPhone ringtone is a very basic, classic ringtone and something that almost everyone knows. And another example of a company that uses memory marketing is Spotify. They offer app exclusives like Spotify Wrapped, which is a personalized feature that only Spotify offers. There are other apps like Apple Music that offer something similar, but it is not the same thing as Spotify Wrapped. They also offer playlists of whatever type of music you want to listen to, and they even offer personalized playlists as well. It's become a thing to share your Spotify Wrapped on social media and compare it with your friends, and this keeps users active and on the platform and loyal to Spotify. So in conclusion, brands are not just selling us products or services, but instead memories that will remind us of their brand throughout our life. Whether it's Apple's clean design or iconic product names, or Spotify's personalized Wrapped, or even the smell of Auntie Anne's when you're at the mall. These companies are constantly finding new ways to keep them in our memories. and keep us thinking about them. So at the end of the day, all these companies want one thing, and it's the same: to live in our heads rent-free. Thank you guys for listening to my TED Talk.